I'm super excited to be part of this video hop for Pretty Pink Posh. They're going to be giving away a $20 gift certificate on each stop, so leave a comment to qualify for that. And when you're done watching this video, you guys are going to be heading over to Kelly Taylor. I also wanted to mention really quickly that you need to leave your comment before January 10th, 2026. They're going to randomly pick the winners and announce them on the Pretty Pink Posh video hop post. Okay, so I am going to start with my background first. I have some mint cardstock from my stash, and I'm just using some mint inks because I want this to be tone on tone and just a really soft, pretty background. I am using these super cute layered Ladybug stencils. There's 3 stencils to this, and it creates the most darling ladybugs on the background. So this is the 3rd stencil. I'm going to finish inking that up, and on purpose, I kind of did it lighter and darker in some areas, and that's how I like it. I'm just taking a white luster marker and splattering the background, and I'm going to set this aside to dry. Then we have these super cute Ladybug shaker dies. I'm going to die cut from a pink cardstock, the solid piece, and then I'm going to take this other piece, line it up, and it's going to give you a frame. But I'm not going to be making a shaker card today. I'm going to kind of do something the opposite. I need those little inside pieces, the wings, the head, and the body. And then I've also die cut another solid piece of the ladybug. And I'm just going to use some varying pink colors from light to dark. And I'm going with the lightest and just lightly ink blending around my cute little ladybug here. I think this die is so cute, and I wanted to share that you don't have to just make a shaker with it. You can do other things with it as well. So I'm just giving it a light ink blending here on the background. Then I have the 2 wings. I'm just using a little bit of a darker ink to go around those, but I wanted to start with a colored cardstock because I didn't want to have to ink blend everything. I'm creating lighter areas by not inking on it, and then of course darker areas by inking. Then we have the body. We're going to pull that in, and then we will also have the head, just keeping it super simple. And I just love the pink on green. It's such a pretty, refreshing color combination, and I really love how this card turned out. Let me just get, this is the little body part here, and here is the cute little head. Then for the antenna, there's little circles that go on the antenna. I'm going to go a little bit darker on those. So I'm going to bring those in here in just a second and go a bit dark on those guys there. And then I am going to just take some scratch paper, some leftover paper from die cutting, and I'm going to ink blend that pretty dark because with this Ladybug shaker die, you have hearts and circles that you can add to the ladybug wings. And so I'm going to do the hearts. So I wanted to ink blend so they're still in that same color family that I'm using. And I wanted those to be a bit darker. So I'm going to die cut those out a couple of times. Now I'm going to speed this up just a little bit so I can get these glued on. I'm going to lay the hearts out first on each of the wings. I want them to definitely go off the edges. I want there to be a lot of hearts on here because these are her little polka dots, so to speak. And so I'm just going to place those around. I'm someone who needs to lay it out first before I glue it down. But once I get it where it needs to go, I'm going to start gluing these, and then I'm going to trim the excess off, and then we'll fill in some of those little areas with the cut pieces. So I'm just using a little sticky tool here with my glue. I can just pick those up, add a good dot of glue, and put those right back down. And then I can just take my scissors. I'm going to let that dry for just a second. I'm going to hold those in place while I'm cutting because the liquid glue is still a little bit wet. And I'm going to trim the excess off. Then I can bring in a couple of those little pieces and fill in the areas. You could do this however you wanted. You don't have to fill in the areas at all, but I wanted to have a lot of hearts. So I need one more little piece right there. So I'm going to place that there. And I'm going to set that aside to dry while I'm working on the second one. And again, just trimming off the excess pieces. And then I'm going to put my little pieces here and then finish that off. How cute is this ladybug? And think about it as a shaker. How darling is that? I just have to say this whole release from Pretty Pink Posh is just so fun and so cute. I love all of these products, and I'm super excited again to be a part of this video hop, and I definitely will have more products or more videos coming out here on my channel using more of their products. Let me cut the rest of these off, and then we have our cute little butterfly wings. Nope, not butterfly, ladybug. Our little ladybug wings. Then I'm going to glue on the little dots to her antenna. And I ink blended one more time, and I am taking the bow from the Box of Chocolates die set because that bow is cute, and I want this ladybug to have a bow on. I just think that would be so darling. So I ink blended that a bit darker, just like the little circles on the antenna. I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind all of my little body part pieces, and then we can start adhering her together. And then we're going to get to the cute sentiment as well. So I have 1mm foam adhesive behind all of the body parts, and then 2mm foam adhesive behind the bow that we're going to place on her as well. And I love all the pink and red tones to her. And again, against the green, it's so pretty and just really stands out. I'm going to place that bow just down a little bit underneath her head. And how cute is that? Okay, let's get to the sentiments. Actually, one sentiment. I'm using the Valentine banner greetings, and I'm just going to ink that up with some red ink on the pink cardstock, and then I'm using one of the dies from the banner greetings 2, and I'm going to tape that down and run that through my die cut machine, and just add a little bit of light pink ink blending around the edge because it just needed it because that ladybug has so much of it. I'm going to distress my edges of my background with some scissors. I did trim it down slightly smaller than an A2 size, and so I'm just going to rough the edges up a little bit so it looks a little bit distressed, and I'm going to do the same thing to my ladybug here, being really, really careful, especially around her antenna. I'm holding on to those really good and just getting just a couple little spots that are roughed up. Then I'm going to use a paintbrush and curl up the ends of the bow just a little bit. A little extra detail like that really goes a long way. And I decided to splatter her a little bit too with some of that white luster brush, but I did not want to get any on my sentiment. That's why I did her separately from the background. I adhered that background to a white A2 size card base. I added some foam adhesive behind the ladybug and the sentiment. I'm going to pop that in place. And then using a little white heart from the Sweet XOXO mix, I'm going to place that right in the center of the bow, and then we can take a look at this. And I want to remind everyone to qualify for that $20 gift card. Please leave a comment below in the description and then hop along to Kelly Taylor when you're done here. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this video and this project, and I hope you feel inspired. And thank you so much. Bye.